Left-Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Welcome to the Left-Wing King podcast. Today we're talking about Will Smith and Duane Martin, Biden losing black voters, and female athletes getting no love. I want to thank all of our listeners out there on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and Google. I also want to thank everyone watching us on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Please feel free to post a comment, and we will
Brother Bilal came in, man. Not only did he say he called him an act, man, but the description was just crazy. Talking about he was getting murdered, man. Shout out to Barrington Levy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like murderer. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. Man, I you know, the Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, you know, ongoing story, man, is just nuts, man. I mean, you know, she just got out the interview where she was saying they ain't been living together since 2016. Well, maybe now we see why. You know what I'm saying?
no doubt. Mm-hmm.
And they gonna sue. I don't know, man. Usually people go to the sue card, you know, like now you're trying to protect some truth or something. Something's going on the way you're suing people or whatever.
Right.
Like, how do you even have the right to sue somebody if it ain't even true? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody just came made up a falsified lie and you had to pay him for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I don't have that kind of money, so I can't actually speak towards that. But still, wow, man, it's just, you know, what else is going to come out of that camp? You know what I'm saying? What else is going to, you know, I mean, I saw 6 Degrees of Separation, and I really just thought Will Smith did a hell of an acting job. I was like, man, that convinced me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, allegedly, there ain't no truth into it. Hey, but I mean, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. Got nothing against LGBTQ or whatever. I really consider myself an ally, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm tired of these little flip-flopping ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, choose a side, bro. Like, that down low shit ain't cool. Remember when people being on the down low? No, nigga. Be on the up high. Don't be on the down low.
Exactly.
I just need to know who you are. And who you are is what you are. That's cool.
I don't even need to know what you are.
I don't really need to know what you are, but but choose a side, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Or if you're exposed because you were hiding it,
that's what it is.
Just embrace that shit. That's what you was this whole time. Be who you are. Now that we know, let that shit go.
In 2023, bro, you ain't got to be doing that stuff no more like that.
Exactly.
You know, you ain't Rock Hudson. You ain't gonna lose your whole career over it no more.
Exactly.
It's what you are, man. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's crazy, and we don't know. I guess not yet. I guess it'll come out, but still, it's just a lot of craziness surrounded by those stories.
Pinkett did an interview with Charlamagne the God on her new story or her new book or whatever, Worthing. And there's a chapter that says No Soccer Moms, where she even talks about her and Will Smith are swingers or gay. So it doesn't need it to be like
exactly.
So if it's something that you're into, y'all little freaks, or maybe not even gay, just I don't know. Some people are more experimental than others. You know, if that's how they partake, that's how they partake. Now, the only thing I thought was strange is that they've come out and told all their business, but this is something that
now you want to sue?
And got a book.
and got a book, right? So it's really, you know, it's concerning. And then you have to understand that Campbell was married, right, to Duane Martin for years, and then all of a sudden it started getting a little rocky, and she filed for divorce. It looks like in 2018.
That dude always been suspect.
Right. Well, yeah, they
Duane
said
Martin.
emotional, physical, and mental abuse. So I'm really concerned about, you know, how the emotional and the mental abuse played a part. So maybe she knows she's saying the same thing. It's not true, but there's some.
Put it into perspective,
I don't know.
man. What you just said, where the smoke is fire.
Oh yeah, when it's smoke.
I'm kind of like, we've been saying that about Trump. Let's not hold back when other people are doing things and there's all this evidence out there. To your point, Duane Martin, Tisha Campbell, they going through their madness. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, they going through their madness. Could it have been some type of love triangle where, you know, Will and Duane was bumping uglies or whatever you want to say? And, you know, the females was mad about it. And then to your point, if y'all swingers and y'all doing all this craziness from the jump, why you mad now that dude was probably living that life? And you out there doing whatever the hell you want to do, getting in your little relationships with little kids and shit.
Entanglements.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Some entanglements.
But now you mad. Yeah, exactly.
Literally,
Maybe his shit just didn't come out. Maybe his shit was just Brother Bilal never said nothing about it. Maybe he had better, you know, I don't know, chains around his situation where it wasn't getting out like yours was.
Yeah, just
I mean, I don't know. It just seems real funny. And to your point, why you want to sue? Why now you want to sue?
Why you want to sue? You know what I'm
Be
saying?
quiet.
Look at the comments.
Look at P. Diddy.
Most of the time,
be quiet.
if
Shut you up.
it ain't true, don't it just pass anyway? Like you ain't got no evidence or nothing. I mean, I know the court of public opinion, but you know, I mean, but stars and celebrities go through that all the time.
People been saying that he might be gay since 12 degrees of 6 degrees of separation. 12 because it was him and Duane. That's why it was 12 degrees.
That nigga's leg was wide in that day.
Yeah,
Like,
but people been talking about him
straight
since
guy.
then. He ain't sued nobody.
It's gonna
I'm pretty
affect
sure
his
there's plenty of
money.
accusations about
Mhm.
him being gay since that movie came out. I mean, I hope you don't sue me. I'm saying it right now, nigga.
There was a
You gonna sue me now?
superhero.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man.
And you know, and you guys being the residential married couple, you know, on the show, don't married people just shut the fuck up about their business if they don't want nobody to know anything.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
I mean, that's my whole thing. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of what they do, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't like business.
Hollywood.
They married. I mean, Hollywood do. I mean, but
It's gonna
even
affect his money. That's why he has to sue.
but even with that being said, who cares if they just be cool? Like they're talking about. She's talking about. She wrote down we were swingers and we might be
Right.
gay and all that. Who
She wrote that
cares?
in her book.
She didn't have to put that in her book.
But she did. But now she want to sue? That's
Yeah.
going to be evidence against her ass right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get. And then Duane Martin, you know, you talking about him and his wife, Tisha Martin. I mean, Lisa Ray got a whole show.
Oh, Lisa Ray is mad at him.
Yeah, all
She said,
about
I
Duane
lost
Martin
my husband.
and her husband.
She said, I lost
So
him
who
to
knows?
him.
There wasn't no triangle
I mean,
bullshit going on with them three. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
she
And we ain't talking about the triangle offense either.
Yeah, we not.
she says that. She said, I lost my. I was like, what do you mean you lost your husband to him? How you lose your man?
She was
to
on a whole unsung about it.
Yeah. He like dropped down on some secrets, like her and Duane Martin was friends, and he told her husband something she did in the past, and
Right.
just some whole ass shit like
Right.
dudes don't do. That's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Duane Martin always, like, how did Duane Martin, the nigga that couldn't play basketball and above the rim, how the hell is he in everybody's damn business? Like he just like he's just ruining everybody's shit. Like, nigga, you just got a vendetta against people?
But he didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, Martin hasn't addressed. All he says is it's absurd. But he hasn't came out and said anything. Have you noticed he ain't doing any interviews? He's not on any shows. He just says, I'm not going to speak on it. Why
That
you
sounds
wanna
like
talk
the White
about it?
Howard. The White Howard pulled
Yeah.
that too just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, don't worry what I do with my, my what you call it. Hey, hold them up. That ain't what brothers say in that situation, bro. That ain't
Exactly.
that ain't the right answer.
Yeah.
I need a quick denial. You know?
Yeah. And then also, like, to your point, man, married couples, like, we were talking about this the other day. Like, there's shit that happens in our relationship that y'all don't know about and y'all will never know about because y'all don't need to fucking know about it.
Unless we're
Exactly.
write a book. You know?
but the things that happen is when people end up having their relationships damaged.
Yeah.
That's when they just let everything out.
Yeah.
Right.
And they just tell every motherfucking thing. So you know something happened, Brother Bilal and Will, their relationship ain't what it used to be.
No.
He talk about I was his friend, this, that, and the other. Now he want to spill the beans. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not his protector anymore. So I believe him. I believe that shit is true. I believe it really happened. And I think it's because naturally, when people become damaged in their relationship, they tell all the secrets that they were keeping for that person. And we married. Y'all, I ain't planning on leaving this woman. I hope she don't plan on leaving me. At the end of the day, you'll never know some shit about that has happened between us. That's just what it's going to be forever. But to me, Jada Pinkett, why she give a fuck? Y'all supposed to be separated anyway. Okay, if y'all married and y'all together, yes, protect your man. Do the things you're supposed to do because you his wife. Maybe she still is his wife. She treats it like that when it's convenient for her. When it ain't, you ain't my man. When you are, you my nigga. Right? Like why now you want to be protecting this nigga all of a sudden?
She played the victim role in the interview with Coda or whatever when it was on NBC. She played the victim on that, and she was saying that like we ain't together, but we still married and on all that bullshit. Just like she said at the deal that she didn't know that Chris Rock got hit at the Grammys when everybody else in the world was there, and she was front stage center. She didn't see the hit. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But the way she tried to play it off was like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't see it until we got back, and then I was like, what the hell did you do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Jada, just stop playing the victim in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get all this attention or whatever the case you are, trying to sell books. I don't know what the hell you're trying to do, but it's just real convenient that she's putting herself in a position to where she's trying to make herself look like she's victimizing this. And all of a sudden, this nigga's just getting murdered in his, booty all of a sudden. Oh, now we understand why she does what she does. No, nigga, that's just very convenient for me.
Very convenient.
When her book is out, this is now coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I just want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying this conversation, please make sure to like this video. And if you want to hear more conversations like this between the crew, make sure that you subscribe to Left-Wing Kingz. Rolanda, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, just that Bilal told Fox that he stands by his statements. Like, he's doubling down. Every news source that he goes to, like, this is what happened, So I thought it was real interesting. He's not. I
think he's telling the truth. I mean, I don't, you say he has nothing to lose. He probably had something to lose if he was lying.
Yeah.
But since I don't think he's lying, he's doubling down. He's like, go ahead, bring me to court, do what you want to do. Let's see where this goes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you said, where that smoke is fried, man. So there's a lot of question marks you got about
that. Is a huge allegation for. I'm gonna put it to you like this: Brother Bilal knows people in Hollywood in the industry. Yeah. He has relationships with hundreds of actors, comedians, rappers. I think dude is pretty smart on knowing if I say some shit that ain't true, and I don't have receipts on this shit, it'll come back. Motherfuckers will sue me. I think he knows that shit. I think he got receipts, and I think he knows. I think he probably got text messages between him and Will or him and Duane saying, "Hey man, don't say nothing about what you saw," or "Hey, I hate that you had to walk in on that," blah blah blah, whatever. Right? It's probably not gonna be so specific as I'm sorry you had to walk in and see me getting murdered in there. But it will be something to the point where like, hey man, sorry you had to walk in on that. Why'd you use your key? Why didn't you not? Blah, blah, blah. There's gonna be something, some receipts that he got. And he's not stupid. He wouldn't go on the internet and all of these programs doubling down on this shit if it didn't happen.
And more likely, he's probably a Hollywood insider. And a lot of times Hollywood been knowing this. It ain't nothing new to them. Like the insider's been knowing this is the situation been going on. Like you say, he's probably been having the receipts and he's just cashing them in right now, pretty much. But guarantee if you talk to somebody who's probably closer in that inner circle, and it almost makes sense. Like, okay, now we see why y'all did what y'all did with the Will Jada kind of situation, because maybe y'all saw this coming months ago. Like, all right, we done broke up this relationship, but this dude's gonna out us, so let's call some diversion. So, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but
yeah, because Will Smith hasn't been really. I don't know. He's been sad, but not angered by her antics. We'll put it that way. Like most men wouldn't be able to deal with some of the things that Jaden said. And maybe he knew he had his own secret. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have to tolerate all her crazy because, I got my little crazy over here too. So.
Yeah, like he wasn't mad enough when that entanglement shit came out.
He wasn't. I was like, well, did you just
He
cry?
was crying.
Did you cry? Did you cry?
Yeah,
just weird how he as a man.
Like a lot of people just felt sorry for
Right.
Will. Like,
Right.
yo, you know what I'm saying? Like
she just did that, but maybe
like I said, a lot of this might have been what the plan is. You never
Right.
know when it comes to these people in Hollywood, man, how they do things.
Hey, I don't know, man. I think like the whole situation to me, I think they're just talking, smack. They talk about suing. Think they know better. I mean, that's just a comment. They can say that all day long, but I don't think anything is gonna really happen from this. Court, nah, they're not going to court, bro. They don't want him and his receipts and all of that stuff to come out in public. There's no way. And he got every right. If he wants to right now, he can start dropping them receipts on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I expect if they say anything else about like him lying, he gonna start hitting them. He gonna start dropping them joints.
Or you mess around and TMZ put the right number out there for him.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. He probably just waiting for that number to come up. You know what I'm saying?
And so with things like that, man, you put yourself out there. You got to be careful with your relationships, man. Who you tell shit to. I tell people this all the time, man. As soon as you tell one person something, their information is theirs to do with whatever the fuck they want. They can tell you, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Go right home. Hey, girl, you know what I heard about Ace? You know what that nigga Ace told me? As soon as that information is out, they can do with it whatever they want. And as soon as he walked in that room and saw, a crime being committed, an anal crime happening in front of his face, that nigga knew.
Sodomy is still on the books.
Okay. That nigga knew that shit was out in the open. And he knew one day it was going to come out because it was no longer secret. And before that, it was just him and Duane doing whatever. Even at that point, Duane could have told somebody if he wanted to.
Yeah, he probably did.
I've been fucking Will. You know what I'm saying? He could have told somebody.
Tisha probably know. So Martin probably know.
That's what I was about to say. I wonder how much Martin Lawrence knows about this.
But Tommy no job having ass.
Because Tisha could have walked in on their asses. And maybe she didn't want to tell nobody because she didn't want her reputation to be, drugged through the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Let's make this a little more practical, man. I mean, we all married. We all got kids, dog. They don't know how to lock the door down.
It was locked.
He had a key.
He had a key.
He had Duane Martin's key.
He was looking like
he was working with both of them, so he had both their dressing room keys.
Yeah.
Really?
He was looking for.
He was like their personal assistant or something.
He was looking for him, and he couldn't find him, but he saw his car there, and then he was like, "Well, let me go check and see where he at." And walked in it. So it wasn't even intentional. Yeah. And he said they were asking for Will Smith, and that his car was parked by the trailers, I guess. And so he was like, well, let me go check and see. Maybe we want to slip. Anything. You just okay. You weren't expecting that.
You ain't going to see homicide.
Right.
Ain't no homicide.
This nigga's stupid.
That's his description.
Now you just changed it up, nigga. You changed it up.
That's his description. Now he's like, he was murdered in it. Murder's homicide. You know what I'm saying?
You tweaked it a little bit, nigga. You just put a little tweak on that bitch.
Hit him with the Law and Order sound.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dun dun. He expected to go on there and see Law and Order. Nigga, where's Ice T?
CSI, nigga. CSI Hollywood.
Help!
You're the fool, boy.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh my god. So I just want to close this conversation out real quick, man. I just want to say, once again, I just want to echo what my man Ace said. I mean, there's nothing against LGBTQ. I think personally, Will Smith, if this is your lifestyle, brother, just embrace it, man. Just
we still love you, bro.
Yeah, I don't love him after he smacked Chris Rock. That's a whole nother.
Well, I mean, no, man, and that's even worse. Like the Chris Rock thing is what did. I'm just saying, but
but from this perspective, I don't see nothing wrong with you, man, having whatever sexual,
orientation.
Thank you.
He can't.
Sexual
He's
orientation, preference, whatever.
Mess with his money.
You do whatever.
Not embrace it.
There's plenty of gay people in Hollywood.
Accept him.
There's plenty of gay people in Hollywood.
No, I mean superheroes and
Suicide Squad suck. Nobody like that anyway, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
but he's still
y'all having a
box
conversation,
office.
but people can't hear because Tina, you ain't got a microphone. They just wondering what the hell Ace talking about because they don't hear you. So I'm just like, y'all just go ahead, go all out with y'all selves. Just talk. So I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, his sexual preference does not matter to me, man. He can be with whoever he wants to. Just live your life, bro. But speaking of preferences, basically we got two preferences that we think are going to be coming up for this next election: Biden and the Trumpy bump. And there's been a recent decline in support of President Joe Biden amongst Black voters.
And a rise for Trump. That's it.
Yeah, and a rise for support from Black people for Trump. It's crazy. It's been a trend that's been concerning a lot of people, and there's a number of factors that could be contributing to it. Yeah. That too, there's all kind of things, man. So, Wanda, why are brothers and sisters dropping a boy like a bad habit?
There's quite a few reasons, but just to let you know, this is by the Hill, so you can go and research that. There's a poll by Highland Project found that 69% of millennial and Gen Z, so your favorites, millennials, speaking, and Gen Z are really dissatisfied with the direction how the country's going. So basically what they're saying is like, I'm hearing all this, you know, our generation, we've caused some problems here for them. They can't buy houses, student loan debt, all that. But they've had promises though. So Biden's made some promises and he's not been able to follow through. So that's been the frustration is people are saying, hey, yeah, I've been riding with Biden, but what are you doing for us? And they're just not seeing the fruit of their labor of their vote. So basically, he's promising things that he's not being able to follow suit for. There's also a survey of American Life found that only 21% of Black voters between 18 and 49 even want Biden to be the Democratic nominee. Now, we've already touched on that, but just know that they don't really want Biden as their representative. So that's also an issue. So either they're going to sit out or someone turn into Trump, I guess. But, you know, majority of them are sitting out. Yeah, they said there's a decline. I have it somewhere here, but there's a decline of about 10% of voting from 2018 to 2020. So basically, we're losing voters. So we had 51%, so now we're down to about 42%, and it's steady declining. So now they ain't even voting anymore because they're like, why am I voting? Am I getting what I want? You know, you're not following through.
Yeah, they're taking away from the electorate, you know, antagonizing them, so people don't even want to vote.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't like what Biden's doing, but then somebody tell me what Trump's stance is on any of these policies. Please tell me.
Well, we know what his stance is, man. I mean, on some of them. I would put it to you like this. His stance, very broad. No, build a wall, stop. He got an immigration stance. He is trying to stop he's trying to stop immigrants. Now, you know he is. You may not like what he's saying about it, but he's trying, that's his stance. It doesn't matter if we like it or not. To Tina's point, he's trying to stop Hispanic people from coming from Mexico. That's a stance. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. He's doing it. That's what his stance is. I mean, he's for whatever reason, he's against abortion. We know that. He put people into the Supreme Court to go ahead and vote it down.
I don't think that's his stance on abortion.
He said when he talks to evangelicals, that's what he says. That's his stance. We can't say he's not saying this stuff. He is. It's just not a broad. We just don't like his stance on something he's taking. And he has a stance for taxes. He's trying to. He wants tax to stop.
Taxes, yeah.
Exactly, corporate taxes. He's like he wants to bring them taxes down as quickly as possible. Well, that's a different thing. He does have a stance, though. You can't say he don't have a stance.
They complain about Biden. They complain about the economy and where they're at right now. What I'm saying is, Trump doesn't have a policy on that. He doesn't have
his policy is let's go ahead and let's tax corporations will help the economy. That's his stance.
Trickle down economics.
That's his stance. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, you say he doesn't have a stance on that. He does.
Yeah. Well, Biden. Some people don't understand what Biden has done, and Biden has done some things, but I don't think they have a clear message, and they need to pump that. Like as far as what he's done for Black people, he's invested $5.8 billion in HBCUs. That's more, but people don't know that. They don't talk about it. You know, so again, $5.8 billion to historical Black colleges and universities. He's also addressed the Black maternal health crisis and forgiveness of student loan debt. Again, not the whole student loan debt, but I can speak to myself because my loans are gone. You know what I mean? So there are people who have been impacted by things that he has done, but I don't think his message is out there. And then with Republicans, they keep saying they want to be more diverse and they're trying to get, more people, Black people to, vote for me. And this is why you should. But you got people like Tommy Tuberville. He's the Republican in Alabama. He said white supremacists are not inherently racist. So you got people who say these things and then they wanna let's embrace diversity.
And he's
But-
also holding up the military on getting their promotion.
Right.
That's
But look at the attempts that they do, So I'm like, you're not going to generate. I'm sorry, most people that are, look like me and are lighter brown are not going to sit up here and get on the side of white supremacy. So
No.
I mean, we're declining with Biden, but also they're like, well, where do I go from here? So I'm going to, third party, independent, because I don't feel like you're doing it for me, but I'm definitely not going to be riding over here with a white supremacist. So where do I fit? Where does my vote lie?
No, I just think black people ain't paying attention.
Thank
right
you.
now. You're right, exactly right now. I think once we get closer to the national election, they will. And I believe that early voting or early polls are usually a little faltered, but they're just not paying attention. And that's basically it. And they're just kind of so if on the news cycle you're saying, hey man, Trump's leading in these states and what's going on, a lot of people get discouraged and decide, wait, I'm probably not going to vote because he's going to win anyway. They're not looking at the facts and the policies. Yeah, Trump do have some policy. He has some. When I say he has some policy stance, we kind of know it because we know what Republicans stand for. But that dude's not talking about it. He's not messaging either.
He's not talking about anything, bro.
Exactly. That's why I say he doesn't stand on any policy.
Right.
And it just tells me when people start talking about, well, where we're at right now, my life's not any better. Well, you can't tell me how it's going to be better if you elect this guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not even talking about it.
Right.
Stuff he's talking about is just straight off crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Immigration policy. He's talking about setting up a police state that's going to hunt down immigrants and kick them out the country.
Right.
They like that shit though.
That's the SS, bro.
Right.
That's not
That is,
Germany.
but these motherfuckers like that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
They happy about that
But
shit.
black people don't like that. You want special police around?
Some black people do like that shit.
But guess what? Soon as we gonna be the immigrants, which we ain't immigrants. We ain't immigrants. We ain't never been immigrants.
Nah.
But they gonna make us immigrants.
They better not.
This the guy that you talking about, siding with.
You got a comment.
And you have to also understand that if you don't vote and you don't participate, you are voting. That is a vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're helping them. That's again.
If you vote third party just to make a statement, you're helping them.
Yeah.
Don't go vote for Kennedy.
Right.
He ain't your granddaddy's Kennedy.
Right,
Kennedy.
right.
This
Okay.
ain't John F. Kennedy or Robert Kennedy.
And to
That
your
ain't
point,
Ted
man,
Kennedy.
black people they ain't paying no attention right now, and it's unfortunate because we gotta start paying more attention. But they have to be able to tell a story that gets us engaged and makes us want to go out there and pay attention. Like Steve is online. Steve said, for the most part, the economy is doing pretty good. They have terrible marketing. They don't speak up enough about the accomplishments. The Republicans are really good at that. And then he said, Trump ran up the deficit, giving tax cuts to the rich.
Yeah.
So let's keep that stuff in mind.
Yeah, black voters in particular, they talk about, of course, addressing white supremacy, which Republicans do not. They actually embrace it. Racism, student loan forgiveness, education, police reform, and accountability. Those have been the stances that constantly come up in the black community. So if Biden's not doing it well as far as showing what am I doing for these topics, then it's kind of a lose-lose. They feel like we talk about it every single time and nothing's being done. What has changed in our lives? That's what they want. They want change.
Yeah.
And if we don't show that, then why would I sit up here and still get on board with you?
Right. And if because of the fact that we're not seeing change, it's been and I know that polls are not 100%, but some of the things like the New York Times had a poll out there that said black voter turnout is stating that 25% of blacks are not likely to vote this next time around. And to your point earlier, Ace, you said blacks polling for Trump, it was 8% in 2020, and right now it's at 22%.
22%.
So it's growing, by leaps and bounds, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who these people are, but they're saying things like Wanda said, first of all, we all know the same old, thing, Biden too old, that brother old, inflation. And we all, I'm gonna tell you like this, inflation ain't his fault. I know that, you know that. We know economy 101.
Yeah.
Right. But when people paying at the grocery store and they grocery bills and they eggs and they milk and they bread is crazy ass prices, they start to point the finger at somebody.
She'll be pointing at HEB.
Yeah.
Or not even HEB, like the economy, the banking system.
Yeah, I mean, and the farmers know that or COVID, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the supply chain has been damaged for the last 3 years. There's a lot of things that come into that.
Yeah, but that's not what they do. They try to point it at a person.
They try to point it at a person. You know what I'm saying? So and we know that's what people do. And it's like gas prices or whatever. They always pointed at the president. They pointed at the economy and the way that checkbook or pocketbook's not hurting. And I get all of that. And I even get the old part with Biden. You know what I'm saying? I get all of that. But just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And look at what your alternatives are.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff that you're talking about, you're affected by your local elections. You know, we just had something that went over here just a couple of weeks ago. I can guarantee you, a lot of people didn't even vote.
I voted.
You know,
I voted.
few of us, I mean.
Yeah, but you're right.
We also have a weekly podcast.
Like this, right? Then we talk about voting.
Basically.
But again, I think it's the messaging. You have to get it out there, and you have to educate people because they don't. I really do think it's a lot of it's just ignorance, and they just don't know.
Yeah, they just don't
You
know,
know, they
man.
just
And they
aren't
go by what they hear, and they hear, oh man, Trump's doing this and Trump's doing that. Mind you, he's also got 91 court, charges on him right now. Got 4 court cases going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we got friends of ours that's locked up. People, and could you imagine they running for president?
Oh, the guy from January 6th is running. Huh? How about that?
Exactly.
But we have an insurrectionist running for a congressional seat.
But if some of our friends was running for, they got criminal records, was running for office, they're running for student, a city council member, and they'll be getting murdered right now because of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? This dude, got a lot of things going on and still leading. Like people are still ignoring that. Why is that?
I don't know, but what we don't want you to ignore is that like button. Make sure you click on the like button. And also, if you're enjoying the conversation and you want to be involved in these, videos every week, make sure that you subscribe to Left-Wing Kingz. So another big piece of this is like the candidates. So Trump, we know Trump got love. He's got the second most votes ever in a presidential election.
Yeah.
But you also got third-party candidates coming through the woodworks. We got Cornel West. We got what's his name, Manchin, talking about he might run. So these things are coming into play too. So it's not only like Trump, and the things that people don't like about Biden. It's also like, well, all these other choices are coming into the field now. So it's diluting the voter pool.
Yeah, we all know that the Trump faithful are going to vote for Trump.
They ain't going to vote for these third parties.
They're not going. They ain't entertaining Manchin and Robert Kennedy and Brother Cornel. I love Brother Cornel West, but brother, this ain't the time. You know what I'm saying? I love you to death, but we don't need this right now, Brother Cornel. You know what I'm saying? Right. I hear what you're saying, but
they're not there yet.
Yeah. So that also is going to fight against them. I'm still a big advocate. I was talking about this morning. Not none of black people ain't gonna like this, but Biden probably need to change his vice president candidate. I think that would help him out.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because I think that a lot of the voters that won't vote for him right now will vote for him if he has a stronger vice president candidate that they trust and they think can run the country. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think they have any faith in Kamala. Not knocking anything. She hasn't did anything wrong. They gave her a tough bite. They gave her immigration. You know what I'm saying? They told her to handle immigration, the hardest thing that the president can do. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that he has a stronger vice president than that old stuff kind of goes out of the way. You know what I'm saying? That's talking from being political on, But and I know we're talking about blacks. Why they not voting for Biden right now? That probably ain't gonna help that cause.
Let me point out something else too that I think is important, man. We got the third party, talked about that, but Trump ain't dumb. He knows why he lost last time, and it's because he didn't have enough support from people that look like us. That's why he lost.
Yeah, well,
when Biden got support from what's his name from South Carolina, can't remember his name. That's when he took off and he won a nomination. Ended up getting elected.
You're talking about.
So now Trump I looked it up, and Trump is actually. He's made it a priority to outreach to the black community. And some of the things that I have listed on here that he's talking about doing for the black community is he wants to create legislation to overhaul criminal justice laws, strong pre-COVID. He had a strong pre-COVID economy during his presidency, so he wants to kind of build on that. He wants to create opportunity zone program for tax favored investments in low income areas. And once again, immigration. He wants to increase border security. He wants to have stricter limits on legal immigration and crack down on undocumented immigrants. So he's trying to do these things, and he sees these things as an outreach to get more Black votes because he knows he didn't have enough Black support. He's getting more already, but he's doing things that he wants to do. And I'm sure at some point, well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I talked to Yolanda about this the other day. I don't know if he's going to get out there and talk about these things. He needs to, but I don't know if he's going to, because even if he wins the nomination for Republicans, like, who says he has to debate Joe Biden?
He's not.
Exactly. He don't got to debate anyone. He don't got to go say a word. The people gonna vote for him.
He's not gonna do that.
Well, what's frustrating when you said the undocumented, I just want to tell people, I'm sorry, poor people are not hurting you. Okay. Even with welfare, if you go look at the percentage, I think it's like less than 4% of our federal government funding goes to undocumented immigrants, guys. So if you think the economy is being impacted by undocumented people, then you're just, I mean, once again, the uneducated just voting. That is not the issue here. So you want to look at your taxation and what he's doing for rich people. You got 1% leading the country. Why is that? So as Black folks, I don't know. We got to definitely keep our eyes open and read, guys. Just listen, go and research for yourself. You don't have to listen to just our podcast, but go and look and see what they're running on, what their voting record is as well. That's one thing. They can say one thing and then go off and vote a totally different way. All of that is open record. So it's just a matter of picking up your phone like we use every day and research that information.
And then Steve is online, and he said, backing up what you just said, Rolanda, he said, also messing with immigration is going to mess with the economy because they contribute to the economy with cheap labor.
Yeah. And that's facts. Because guess what? I can get nobody to clean my school. I think I got 3 custodians.
You know how much it costs for Black people to clean your school? You know how much brothers going to charge you? You want $25 an hour?
I would too. Have you seen it?
Do that.
You know what they got to do? Shout out to my custodians. I love y'all.
And we want health care.
Yeah.
And we want a vacation package right now. We're trying to go to Jamaica, man. Everybody's doing all of that.
Man, I can tell you how many industries are being hurt right now with the cheaper labor. And you know what? All they want, just like everybody else, I want to take care of my family, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to survive. I want to be able to eat.
And
I want to have the American dream. That's all they want, just like everybody else. They all want the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're not taking from you. I promise you, those are the hardest workers I've ever seen in my life.
And they pay their taxes.
No.
Yeah, and they pay taxes. That is correct.
Yeah.
If you got a job, you pay them. Okay, well, like it or not, they coming for your money. So it's just real frustrating that they focus on that whole undocumented. Drives me nuts. And I get it. I don't want them just living in the streets and things of that nature. But as far as them hurting you as in an economy stance, sorry, that ain't it. That ain't it.
No, earlier we're talking about Trump and how he ran in 2020. And I mentioned abortion, but no, abortion came after that. Roe versus Wade was reversed. That's what's going to hurt him this time, is basically what I'm saying. Like, abortion is probably the kryptonite that's going to really hurt him. And Black people in Georgia actually put Trump, it was where he lost the election last time. And I don't know if that's still a factor in this one. Sean made a good point when he was talking about some of the things that he's retroactively going after to encourage the Black vote. But you truthfully got to understand what the president can or cannot do. And usually when it comes to local or community things, increase in jobs, those usually fall into the state and local area. So you need to be watching on who you're voting for in that area, statewide. Who's your governor? Who's your congressman coming out and things of that nature? And who's your state congressman and all that good stuff. So that's part of paying attention, is being a conscious Black voter. Listen, I always tell people this. A lot of Black people have a myth and say, hey, well, my vote don't count. Well, they listened and did all that stuff and they didn't believe it counted. You have to understand what the power is and how to utilize that power. And that's by being effective in your state and local government, you know what I'm saying? And understanding how that works. And then when it comes to voting federally, understanding how overall the macro of the whole situation is going to affect you. I'm just, it's just hard for me to see as a Black person, you're looking at Trump and saying that this guy's going to make my life better. That's just very hard for me to see. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. I'm not saying everything Biden is doing good. And I'm not saying, well, the lesser two evils. I think you have to hold him accountable also.
But you can't sit up here and look at his presidency and say he hasn't did anything. He's passed some great legislation that's going through, and we're being affected by it now, and definitely over the next couple of years we're going to be affected. The infrastructure bill is one that's created jobs, and you can see around everybody's city that I was just coming over here right now, and there was a road in my neighborhood that ain't been repaired, since I've been born.
Right.
That they got people working on right now, and I'm like, God dang, unfortunately, my grandparents didn't get to see this, but
here we are. Yeah,
they're fixing this area. That's the infrastructure bill. And you talk about he has an inflation act that's working right now that you're actually seeing is coming into play, and you can see some things that are trying to get lower and get better. Gas is way lower than it was. You know what I'm saying? So
again, people don't know how inflation works. It's not like a day to day. Even if he made a change, let's say today, you ain't gonna see it for a while. Like people don't again. That's why school is so important. I talk about education so much, because if you don't understand, you live in this whole little bubble and you just, you're just mindless and ignorant to it. And again, I want a president too that's for everybody. I don't want just somebody, well, I'm just going to help the Black community. Can we have a president that just helps all community and, every single person impacted? Again, like we can all sit at the table and we all can eat a good meal. That's what we need. It's a president for everybody.
And we had a Black president, and he just didn't help the Black community.
And he shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but he shouldn't.
Exactly. And he shouldn't.
That's what they thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen. I'm saying,
but
that's not the president's job.
Right. Let's kind of talk about Biden's accomplishments, because, like you said, people don't know, right? So let's give them a list of some of the things that he's done to just kind of like approve upon our lives right now that we can physically, or it might even be intangible, but something that we know about. So he appointed Black judges, right? A bunch of Black judges, including the Supreme Court Justice, Kenjani Brown Jackson, right? So, she's voting on our side on things.
Very diverse cabinet.
He passed a bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Yeah.
So this is going to do things for many years to come to improve how we live and how we get to work, and the things that we do, our roads and all type energy, all type of things moving forward.
Renewable energy and conversion over to electric cars and all that stuff.
He pursued some economic policies that have increased jobs. So we've seen, unfortunately, jobs kind of going up and down, right, recently. So
but his jobs report's actually good.
Right, it's actually good right now. But we've seen increases and decreases, but it's better than when he started, definitely.
And I actually think the last 3 months has been just dang near record break. It's been real good.
It's been great.
Yeah.
He tried to cancel the student loan debt that you talked about. He was blocked by the Supreme Court. So, hopefully we're able to do something with that.
Yeah,
hopefully
do that. I need that.
We need that done. And he's been attempting to pass policy overhauling voting legislation, but it's being stymied by Congress again. So he's trying to
say the truth. That's
Republicans
has been doing that ever since Barack Obama got in office. They've been trying to change up the voting rights and attacking the Voting Rights Act, and he's fighting against that. You're definitely right on that.
So he's doing a lot of things to help, the Black community. But I want to talk about trying to help some of these Black athletes. These Black athletes, they get no love. Okay, so I'm gonna just give you some scenarios here that make me feel like we just not paying enough attention to our sisters out there. We're not giving them enough credit. So Simone Biles, she has 32 Olympic and World Championship medals, making her the most decorated gymnast in history. Out of anyone, okay? Black woman, queen, we support the queen. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, she sold over 200 million records worldwide, and she's won 12 Grammys, and she's one of the most successful pop stars ever. So credit is due there. Give her flowers. Now, despite accomplishments on both sides of the fence for her, and I'm just giving you a comparison of these two because there's many more women out there that we can point at. But when you look at these two, Biles and Swift receive very different levels of attention when they're at NFL games. So Swift is shown on TV cameras because she's dating your boy, Travis Kelce. So whenever she at the game, boy, they all over her. She in a box. They just giving her all the love, showing her every play he make.
Sitting with his mama.
Showing everything that happened. I'm pretty sure Simone Biles, who is not on TV, never gets shown. She in the stands with all the regular people. I'm pretty sure she's jumping up, giving people high fives. Sierra supporting her man when he out there, even though her man ain't really out there too much, but she probably supports the team. You know what I'm saying? She happy that her team, when her team does something good, but they never show her.
Russell's starting to finally play right. You know what I'm saying? So
you know what I'm saying? Better, But they never show Biles on camera, but they show Taylor Swift every damn second she moves, it does something. So there tends to be a trend in society where successful Black women like Sierra, like Simone Biles. They're not celebrated or put on the same pedestal as their white counterparts. So Ace, talk to our viewers and listeners about why this might be the case.
I don't understand the Simone Biles situation. She's actually, a big American icon. I mean, she's almost larger than life. She's a gold medalist, a multi-gold medalist. You know what I'm saying? And they got and let's lay credit where credit's due. Let's say the Green Bay Packers or whatever just said, hey, you know what? They asked her and maybe said, I want to be low key, which maybe she did that. I don't know. But I still don't see why the NFL, the television people wouldn't be trying to get more attention to her since she's who she is, especially when you go into what we see what they're doing with Taylor Swift. Yeah. And not taking anything from Taylor Swift. She's who she is. She's a big international pop star. So I can understand why, of course, Taylor Swift's going to get a lot of attention when she's going anywhere. She's got multi-billion fans that are following her around. They got their own name, the Swifties. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, if you go, we're not going to sit up here and say Taylor Swift against Simone Biles. Some people don't even know what Simone Biles probably even do in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? But we know that the industry, we know that the NFL knows what she does and who she is. And I'm not understanding why they're not lifting up to a higher pedestal.
Think about how many times do you see commercials during NFL games about America?
Exactly.
She is the most decorated Olympic and world class gymnast ever. Supporting America. Going out there for her flag. Y'all supporting America so much.
And don't they do the national anthem before every game and have planes flying over and stuff? Don't they bring a veteran out there, wobbling veteran every now and then? They do that. Trump don't like wobbling veterans either.
He sure don't.
Let's put that on record. You know what I'm saying? So, no. But all I'm saying is, I seen Simone Biles and her man had to run in the end zone to see her, and she was in the midst of all the cheese heads over there. You know what I'm saying? I think that maybe Simone should probably, it'd be nice if once she got a little box, the way you can kind of see her and know she's at the game, and they put her name under there, and she can hang out and get his family, be here with his family up in there with the owners and stuff like that. I'm not surprised. The owners ain't even Simone, let's get you a box and get you up here, using the publicity just to have her there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm not understanding. Like I said, it's not a, hey, Taylor Swift versus Simone Biles. It's the simple fact that how this machine works, how it's almost like deliberately they're going away from not even showing her. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I saw when I looked up, it said Black players are mentioned an average of 52 times, through media, compared to white players mentioned an average of 118 times. So 50% more of coverage. And media begets more media, which gets more endorsements, which leads to, white players getting bigger payouts. So there is a reason, it's not something that we shouldn't be addressing, because overall it actually affects their pay. I found too that was real interesting though. I probably saying her name wrong, but Paige, I think her Buckers of UConn, she won the ESPY Awards, and she went on, which was crazy. And she said, yes, I'm white. And with the light I have now as a white woman, I want to shed light on a Black-led sport that basically she's won the ESPY Award over. And she said, I want to shed light on Black women. Basically, they don't get the media coverage that they deserve. So people are noticing that. Other players even know, I can attest to that. Yes, I'm a white player in a Black industry, and yes, thank you for my win. But who we're forgetting is the rest of these people who are leading every single day and not receiving the same coverage.
Yeah, and Peter is on here. He says, it depends on who and why the media are shooting the celebrities. He said, we have the same here in the UK, and many believe that it was a downfall of Princess Di, all the paparazzi chasing her around and stuff like that, trying to get pictures of her. He said one that comes to his mind is the arrest of O.J. Simpson. A lot of publicity around that, right? But the thing that I think is we're not saying that Taylor Swift don't deserve that shine. Give her that shine. She deserves every single bit of it that she's getting.
Yeah, we know who Taylor is.
So does Simone.
Yeah.
So does Simone. She deserves just as much shine. She should be up in that box. You should be, like you said, Ace, promoting, using her as a promotional tool for your team. If I was Green Bay and I had the most decorated gymnast in Olympic history in my damn thing, I'd be like, I'll have on screen every time.
That's all Green Bay got. They ain't got nothing else. They're horrible this year.
Yep, exactly.
Like they got, they need some more. Like I have it, should I out there doing damn a floor exercise out there on the 50-yard line.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Halftime show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of their bone density compared to ours.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because, we lead in certain areas. And then I want to say some of us did get some attention, but even in the WNBA, they said it's 80% occupied by Black women are the winners. But the top most talked about players were all white. Sabrina Ionescu, Breonna Stewart, and Sue Bird. So you got 3 white women compared to 80% dominating Black women. But the only people they were talking about were those 3.
Crazy.
So.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And, and so we're talking about that. And when you're talking about, Black female athletes, we're talking about top-notch athletes, world-class athletes. We can't leave out Sha'Carri Richardson.
Put her on here.
You know, when she got denied, running to the Olympics, she's and here's my issue with this. She's made a hell of a comeback by winning the championships and setting herself up to come up to the Olympics coming up next year. We don't hear about that.
No, we heard about her smoking weed.
We haven't heard about a redemption story.
Right.
Okay, let's say
that's all they negativity.
And let's be real. The Olympics isn't controlled by America or whatever. That's the Olympic Committee, and they decided not to let her run. It sucked, but that's what happened. But we heard about that all day long, and she couldn't make it to that. And this young woman has been working her ass off to come back and be where she's at. And she's won the world championship. She's made herself where she's the fastest woman in the world again. And we just don't hear about that once again. Endorsements. Where's Swisher Sweet at? You know what I'm saying? Where's Topps rolling papers? Like, come on, where's somebody selling all this cannabis since it's legal here now? One of these countries, where's these dudes making these edibles? Like, where are they at? Like, somebody should be endorsing this girl with this comeback story.
One company reach out to her. I looked it up to get her to endorse their product. It was a CBD based company. I can't remember what it was, but it was just one.
Well, Snoop and them got a company. Somebody,
somebody, right?
All I'm saying is, once again, that's an example of somebody who's not getting the shine they need. And she's got you're talking about an American dream. You're talking about a story. That's a good one. They turned this girl down in the Olympics. They knew she was gonna dust everybody in them Olympics. That was going down. You know what I'm saying? So,
but the problem with the endorsement thing from like Swisher Sweeter, I don't know, but I think that the Olympics still has a ban against. Just
that was
because
the reason she couldn't run.
Right. That she can't go out there endorsing it and saying, I smoked this and I smoked that. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, you can't run again. If she gets a positive test, they might start testing her more or something. I don't know. I just know that it could jeopardize her capability to run in the Olympics again if it's still something like that going on.
I got you. No, them were jokes though. I don't want to wear no Swisher Sweet outfit. Swisher Sweet duffel bag out there. Only the guts, baby. Out there,
well, they talk
got up there rolling up a blunt right before she
get in the block. And if you enjoy blunts, no, you should enjoy hitting the like button.
No, I did not. I do not encourage.
Sure
no,
you
I don't be associated.
If you like these conversations.
No, they talk about race and diversity and being inclusive, but I went back and tried to find like a law. And so I was looking at like Title IX, but Title IX just deals with gender diversity. You know what I mean? So there's not a law that's in place that encourages diversity as far as, with dealing with race and women. So, but that's the media's fault. I blame all of the media because they have control, and if they want to be more inclusive, then they need to be including these Black women and, or people of color in general. So they have to make a change.
Yeah. I mean, we're part of the society, man. We're part of the culture of America. We are Americans too. I mean, and we need to be, celebrated in the same fashion. I'm not asking for anything more than what Simone Biles or Sierra or Sha'Carri Richardson or even the Williams sisters deserve, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they get a lot of shine. Don't get it twisted. But when I see somebody else out there just getting additional shine, just making it like a frenzy over Taylor Swift being at a football game, and I know that there's celebrities that are black at them same games and getting no love, no camera time. It kind of just piques my interest as to why is this happening. Like Peter said, can we celebrate black folks for a moment too? One thing that they're incredibly good at and pretty much unparalleled by any other ethnicity is dancing. Something my wife always says. He says MJ is an absolute master of it as well as his music. But yeah, I mean, we celebrated MJ like a mofo. Like,
he was universal.
He was universal pop star. And maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe to Peter's earlier point about who it is and why you film it. Maybe people just more, like you said, Ace, maybe they're just more attracted to like a pop star or Taylor Swift. And they, like you said, maybe people don't even know about who the hell Simone Biles is or whatever. But it should be their job to help them understand who she is and how important she is.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's sitting at an NFL football game just like Taylor Swift is. I mean, I'm pretty sure before she dated Travis Kelce, I mean, we didn't know Taylor Swift was hitting games like that, and if she was or wasn't. But as soon as the NFL found out, they made it into something. Every Sunday, they made sure we knew Taylor Swift was in the building.
Right. Well, I'm interested in that whole take because everybody knows Travis Kelce. He has a brother, right? But Travis Kelce was the more, I don't know, culturally sensitive one. I mean, he dated black women his whole time. I mean, you see, like the model he dated was gorgeous, and I felt like, is that why they keep talking about that? I don't know. It's weird to me because Travis Kelce is a wonderful football player, and I don't even watch football, so I knew that. So I don't understand what the I don't know, like.
Well, let me play it from this
angle. Infatuation of them. I'm like, okay.
Let's play it from this angle. We'll play it from this angle. So because just in case somebody comes up with it, Travis Kelce is on the Super Bowl winning team,
right?
So he's out in the spotlight already. Okay. Now he comes up with Taylor Swift, who's a world-renowned pop star. That's big news. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I don't even know the name of the dude, which is actually Simone Biles' husband, if I'm correct. Offhand, I don't know his name. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he's not as famous as Travis
Kelce is. Okay.
But once again, I'm taking it from the NFL side. Why aren't they blowing that up at the Green Bay games? Like I said, one Green Bay's not having a hell of a season, but either way it goes, Simone Biles is big enough to where they should be making some noise about
for
that
her,
regardless. Especially they making noise about Taylor Swift just as much. Right. I mean, Simone Biles ain't a world-renowned pop star, but she's big enough, especially in the American football game,
and probably universally, in other countries. You know what I mean? Probably heard of Simone Biles because they person had to go up against her and lost.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I mean, she's big enough to where she should be getting some shine.
Right. You know I'm just not a Swiftie fan, I guess. I don't know. I don't.
Man, I can't name one song.
I'm just not.
Jonathan Davis is his name.
Jonathan Owens. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And Ciara, but Ciara's a big pop star too. Yeah. Like people, I mean, but I did see Ciara a couple times. They did talk about her, but then she kind of went away too.
Yeah, Ciara. I mean, every time I see Ciara, I think a 1-2 step right off the bat. Get up there, that's just right there.
But I mean, I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't think a lot of them folks out there watching NFL games know who the hell Ciara is because she's just R&B, and it's just not.
Unless you knew the
like when you talk about football is a universal sport. They got it in Europe. They got it everywhere now. It's big thing. And when you go to a football game, or if you, let's say, not even go to, if you watch a football game, who's the majority of the people in the stands? Black folks or white folks?
White folks.
White folks. Right, and it's about
affording the ticket,
affordability, right? It's about access, things like that, and they're going to try to promote to those people who they know are going to spend the big money. We all got TVs, we all watching on TV, and they don't get it twisted. They got contracts that make them a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they trying to market and. More people are just going to know who the hell Taylor Swift is than they're going to know who Ciara is. They're going to know who Simone Biles is.
Yeah.
But to your point, okay, help them understand who they are.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't really jumped on the Ciara on the deal, but like Simone should be. She's crossover enough to where
I think she would
Olympics?
be.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Everybody knows what the Olympics is.
I understand, you average white guy understand. You don't know who the hell Ciara is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't 1-2 step don't do shit for you.
No, you ain't never heard of it.
You know what I'm saying? You don't care about Missy Elliott and all that. Well, you probably do because she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now. But other than that,
they probably never heard of her.
Yeah.
I bring up a song about Missy Elliott at work. Missy who?
Yeah.
What's that song?
Yeah.
I watched that on the TikTok. It'd be like she'll say a line and she'll ask like her counterpart, the white
like
people, the black people.
I saw
You know,
that
you see that? Yeah, and it's so funny because the white people are like, I don't know.
They don't
All
know
the black
songs.
people just
They
dancing.
miss
Like,
it.
you know,
We be
You
like,
know?
like a
beep,
SWV.
beep.
Yeah,
like,
she goes,
who got the keys
Keys
to
to
the
the
Jeep?
like,
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
see, this
They
lady
don't
in that
know.
video, she'll say something like, you know,
she goes,
I get so.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed
And
to
they go,
finish it.
Yeah.
The white people be like, tired?
happy. I'm happy.
Sleepy?
But it's funny because if you did a
They
country
don't
song
know.
to us, we'd
They
be
don't
like,
know Sierra.
Depends on which
know.
country song. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm a
I'm
Texas boy.
saying-
Blame
I know,
it
but you know what I
on
mean?
my roots.
yeah, no, but
I
some
don't know none of
people, yeah, he won't know. I will know, but he won't know. Not one, you know. But it's just funny that because that's just cultural.
Yeah, that's
I know
funny.
that
That
works.
is. That is.
Yeah, so what about Venus and Serena? Like, we don't hear nothing about them, and I didn't even know this. And like, they have a stake in the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
They're part
yeah.
owners of an NFL team.
Yeah. You know,
That's what I'm
We
talking
don't hear
about.
nothing about that.
you
Never
do.
even know.
Let's not get it twisted. You do see them endorsements because I mean, I think Serena's selling some headache medicine or
Yeah.
something. Like you do see them on TV. So I'm not saying they don't get any shine.
Yeah, they do.
But when it talks about them making big money moves, like being owners of the Miami Dolphins, you don't hear or see any, you get a lot of publicity on that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's even a cultural thing. I think that's almost a gender thing, like a woman thing. You know what I'm saying? Because like Magic Johnson, we all know he's part owner of the Washington Commanders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we ain't hear nothing about,
It's a gender, right.
it was
I
a
would say that too.
byline. So I think it falls more on gender with
Yeah.
that. Like I think if that's, I think that if that's anybody else who's male, we would have heard about that.
But did we hear about it when it happened? Because they've been part owners of the Miami Dolphins for many years.
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying.
But Magic, that just happened recently.
Exactly. So I don't think that's even falls on
It's a
race. I
It's
think
more
that's
of a
more
gender.
gender. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That's why WNBA don't make as much money as NBA. I mean,
Well, ain't
I
nobody,
go back and forth.
That's not a good argument. That's not a good argument.
I know, but it makes me sad.
That's
because,
not to be sad about. That's just economics. More people gonna pay to see LeBron James, than they are gonna see the Aces win the championship.
Asia Wilson. Like, let's
Asia
talk about
Wilson, I
her.
know
Yeah, they
that.
talk about her.
I'm just saying, but that's just economics. That ain't got
I
nothing to do with
We got to do better as women, though, because I mean, we part of
But
the problem too.
they're
There's more
doing,
women than men.
they're doing
you know,
good,
right.
as a league. But it's just, come on, the NBA been
But we
around
don't
since the
support
50s.
them. It's not even just men. There's more women there as men. So I was like, well, women, we're part of the problem too. If we went out there and supported them, then it might be equal. But we don't. I mean, we don't. Well, we don't.
And you know what? I'll catch some of the WNBA games here or there. I'm not going to say that. I'm a big NBA fan. Like I look at NBA all day long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to all fairness, if you line it up league to league, it's just a younger league.
Right.
They're getting way better.
Yeah.
The basketball is getting way better, the whole 9 yards, and it's becoming a better product. But if you go league to league, it's hard to compare where the NBA is now,
right,
compared to where the WNBA is now. So it wouldn't even be unfair. They just, it's just a younger league. But I guarantee you, Cheryl Swoops, where she was at now compared to where Asia Wilson is two different. It's two different leagues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gotten better. You know what I mean?
Gotten way better.
And I mean, and I, like I said, because the WNBA is starting to, it falls in that standpoint where football just ended, basketball ain't started, and the WA is kind of So I was checking it out because really, technically, not being messed up. Other than baseball, ain't really too much on. And I like basketball better than I like baseball, even though I love baseball too. So I'm saying, they're coming along.
But hey, at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we're giving as much support to our queens, our sisters,
yes, sir,
as we can, man, because they are deserving of that and so much more. They're, the matriarchs of every family out there. They take care of us, and we need to be taking care of them. So when we see that they're not getting the shine, in comparison to their counterparts, we just want to make that, bring up that awareness and hope people start to give them the love that they deserve. So that is another episode of Left-Wing Kingz. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on our podcast and also on Facebook and on YouTube for live streaming. I want to thank my queen, Walanda, for all of the knowledge and support, as always. I want to thank my man, Ace, the king, bringing in the crazy homicidal the homicide of the anus discussion earlier.
Yeah, sometimes I'm the joker. Sometimes I'm the joker, but I'm the big joker. I'm the one with the writing on it. You know what I'm saying?
He's crazy.
I'm a spade player.
Look, he can't be smart and funny. I don't know how he does it. And at the end of the day, I also want to thank Queen Tina for always chiming in and helping us out, keeping everything straight and under wraps. So thank you guys for joining us. And I just want to remind you guys, next week is Thanksgiving. We ain't working on Thanksgiving. I don't know about y'all, but we ain't doing that. And the week after that is my birthday. I don't work on my birthday weekend. So it's gonna be a little gap between our next video, but we will be back and better than ever. So peace.